Hi guys, my name's Lynda Nyangweso and welcome to another episode of Legally Clueless. No, seriously, I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. We've made it to episode 5. That's such a big deal for me because when I started this podcast, I was so frustrated and I felt so alone. Just thinking I'm the only one who doesn't have my shit figured out. And I really didn't have a plan. Actually, I still don't have a plan about where I want this podcast to go. But it's so amazing to be able to share episodes with you and to have you relate with the different episodes, to have you share your stories on the episodes. I mean, I'm really just enjoying this journey. I have no idea where it's going, but I'm enjoying the journey, and that's kind of like life. We really don't know where it's going, but we've got to make the most of it. So the last episode, I asked you to share your stories in terms of body insecurities that you may have. And mine is definitely my scars on my arms and on my legs. Every day I'm like pushing to overcome those insecurities by, wearing my sleeveless tops, wearing my shorts, which seems like such a small thing, but when you're so embarrassed and insecure about something, you just want to hide it from the world and even from yourself, actually. So to take a step to get past that hiding is very big. And it's really just magical. So very many stories were sent to the podcast hotline. And I want to thank everybody who shared their stories. So we're going to start with the story of a young gentleman who, similar to me, because I have eczema scars, he was actually the first story that came in. And it was really powerful to hear things from his perspective.
My greatest insecurity has got to be my skin. Growing up, I had severe acne. Started when I was in class 7, all the way up to some years after I finished, a year after I finished high school. With acne and you're a man and it's in high school, it's the time where you're a teenager. I always wanted to talk to new girls, find a girlfriend. And every time I go to speak to either one or a group of girls, in one way or another, they'll end up looking at me. You see, when you see someone looking at your acne and you're speaking to them, always made me feel so bad, feel so ugly. But my mom and my grandmother used to make me feel a bit comfortable. They're the ones who helped me through the process of gaining my self-esteem back. But when I'm with my friends and they have soft skins, it really did a lot on my self-esteem. But now that I have grown, the acne has reduced, and I've noticed that there is more to one than what they look like. So slowly by slowly I've gained confidence, and I think that I'm on the right way.
Sometimes when you think about body insecurities, you almost tend to forget that these are things that affect men as well. So it was so interesting for me to open up the first WhatsApp message that came in, and of course I get super excited when they do, and then listen and hear that it's a story from a man, and it does something to hear him share that story. It makes this issue a very human issue. So I was trying to, after I listened to the next story I'm about to play you, I was trying to think about how long was it that I kept wearing stockings to hide my legs? How long was it that I would always be in long sleeves? Even if I liked a short-sleeved top, I would wear long sleeves underneath. It didn't matter if it was as hot as hell. I would keep doing that just to hide my arms and to hide my legs. And I really think it was across years. And that's something that I have in common with this next story.
Now, I have struggled, Adele. I have struggled with literally all my life. I got to a point where I couldn't wear certain clothes. So I heard you talking about it and I was just blown away because I don't think I have worn a sleeveless top in public for over 6-7 years because this guy pointed out how big my arms were, and I have just never had the courage to wear something sleeveless. There was a certain point where I couldn't wear shorts or dresses because I have this stretch marks at the back of my legs, and I just really don't like showing them off. And I don't know, people always had an opinion and always felt like if I covered them, then I'd be safe from it. The thing, Adele, that I am learning as I am growing into the woman that I want to become is that self-love is a journey. it's a journey that you will be on for the rest of your life. And it's just a journey that takes this little steps every day. Like for me, these days I wear short dresses and shorts, which for me is a big deal considering the fact that I never felt confident enough to wear them in the past.
And she went on in her story to share that she's on a really powerful journey of self-love. Now, when I think about me wearing stockings just to cover up my legs, the one person that I believe I got close to slightly sharing my insecurities on my body with is my colleague and good friend, Lynda Nyangweso. And she is a radio presenter on the station that I work at, which is Kiss FM in Nairobi, Kenya. We would constantly joke about never running out of stockings, always having a stockings plug. And I don't know whether when we'd talk about it and joke about it, we knew that both of us had some sort of body insecurity attached to those stockings. But I'm just so happy that we've both gotten to a point that we can talk about it publicly. And she was gracious enough to share her story with us in this episode.
Hey, I'm Lynda Nyangweso, and the truth is, I feel like every woman is insecure, right? I've always had body insecurity issues because I just don't look like the other girls who I'm told are supposed to be the beautiful ones. And it's hard to be a plus size girl. I went to an arts high school where everyone was very artsy and dancy and limber and skinny and blonde. And then I joined an industry that beauty is more marketable than anything. It's been an ongoing struggle. I have to say, though, I let go of a lot of my insecurities, kind of stopping me from doing what I wanted to when I was around maybe 19, 20, because I realized if I constantly just walked around feeling sorry for myself, I'm never going to get anything done. I have small things that I stopped doing or I just didn't do, and then I have big things that I didn't do because I thought being heavy and being not light enough and not having super straight hair would stop me from doing. For instance, it took me forever to wear anything that showed my arms because you know how it is when you're a chunky girl, you have the wings under your arms and you're constantly afraid that people are going to think you're ready to take off and fly off. And so I just didn't wear anything strapless for a long time. I used to hate taking pictures because it was so evident that I looked different because not only was I super short, I was also super fat. So you kind of stand out standing next to these like tall Amazon looking girls around you. But I had to stop that because I like who I am and I think I deserve to take up space. And that's the other thing. I constantly feel like I have to apologize for existing because I don't look like what you think I should look like. I stopped feeling that way when I realized if I constantly apologize for existing, I'm not actually living. The turning point for me has got to be when my little cousin asked me how come she doesn't see anyone on TV or see anyone on radio who looks like her. And I realized I look like you. I just don't put myself out there because I'm afraid of what people will say. I'm afraid of what people will think. And the truth is, there's someone out there who needs to see like a not the actual what pretty is person doing her thing and winning, and we need to see more of it and we need to celebrate what makes us all unique. And sometimes that's not what society tells us is beautiful, but that is what makes us beautiful, you know? Every day I do small things that make me feel good about myself. For instance, I stopped putting on clothes because people told me that's what works for my body type. These days, I actually just wear things that give me joy. If it doesn't give me joy, even if it's supposed to be flattering, because you're kind of made to feel like you have to constantly cover yourself up and wear a tent so you can blend into the background and disappear, I stopped doing that. I wear clothes that make me happy, and if they make me happy, I'm putting it on. Whether you think it looks good on me or not, it gives me joy. Also, I treat myself. Small things, you know? If I'm having a low day and I feel like, I don't know, buying myself an outfit will be nice, I do it. Doing my nails, doing my hair, I do it. And on top of it, I eat and I don't feel shame about it. I used to feel a lot of shame about eating because, especially in public, because I always felt like when people see me, they think I'm constantly eating. So that's what they think I do all the time. So I stopped eating in public. I didn't eat for most of my school life. I never ate in school because I was afraid people assumed that's all I'm doing anyway. But these days, I'm shameless about it. And here's the good thing. Everyone is being very open about eating and a healthier relationship with food now. so I can say I'm hungry, and I don't feel like that makes me look fatter. I feel like I shouldn't have to feel bad for doing something that keeps us all alive. I'm gonna end it there before I sound like more of an Instagram quote. Thanks so much for having me, Adele.
And that's it for this episode of Legally Clueless. You can share this podcast with your friends. You can keep it for yourself. I'm not judging. Just make sure you're here next week for the next episode.